job of kind of wrapping it up in 3 very short minutes so I can get to work with you guys and you know, share with you what my process was like. That was a very difficult thing to go through. And I will tell you, I didn't want to be the broke homeless girl. I didn't want to wear it. I didn't want to be a part of it. I didn't want people to know that story. When we were going through it, I wasn't on Facebook going, oh, great content today. Guess what? We're going homeless. You know? Guess what? Sheriff's kicking us out of the house today. You know, my kid is crying because everything's stacked up around him. I'm like, it's an adventure. And he's like, this is horrible. But, I mean, that's how we got through this. And so, our dramas and our traumas give us our purpose. And if you don't believe that now, you will someday. You will someday. Hey, it's me talking. Now, we went through all this. I didn't know it was going to change our life. Zero clue. As a matter of fact, I didn't really feel that way. I did not feel like this was changing our life. I was like, my life is over. Like, it's gonna get, we're gonna have that story. Like, do you ever hear stories of like, well, I guess now it'd probably be great-grandparents, maybe grandparents, you know, Depression era, you know, people of the earth, they worked very, very hard for their kids. You know, they didn't trust the banks anymore, so they put money underneath the mattress. I thought that's how we'd be described, is, you know, they worked very, very hard, but life became difficult for them and they never came out of it, but they did the best they could. And I guess that would be an okay legacy for me to leave, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I just didn't think it get any better. And part of why I didn't think it get any better was because I loved being the victim of my circumstances. That whole situation and the 150 pounds that I gained to where I was over 350 pounds, I don't know how much I weighed. I have no idea. The scale didn't go any higher. My husband gained 100 pounds, lost the ability to walk for 2 years. But I was waiting for him to fix it. And I was waiting for magic motivation to be like, motivation, there you go, you're ready to go, you got it, the magic motivation. It didn't exist. And I was literally like this at my husband. Fix it. I'd wake up the next day, didn't change. As a matter of fact, I go to bed really, really early because I figure if I just ended the day, that magically the next day would be better. And guess what? It wasn't, because I was unwilling to do the work. Now, I have zero regrets about what we went through, and I have zero regrets about how I dealt with that and the language that I'm using, because it helped create my purpose. It helped me be able to do what it is I'm doing today. And I should tell you, I was your biggest no. I was anti-coaching, I was anti-Beachbody, I was not gonna spend that money on a magic bag of powder. And I will tell you, we were living in a 300 square foot hotel room as I described. And my husband's like, check out this healthy meal. And I'm like, yeah, check out this box of mac and cheese that feeds 4, you know? Or this apple for 69 cents that feeds 1. I guess it depends on how many containers you're using that day or whatever it is. But I mean, the bottom line is, like, that's how I looked at it. Like, we're broke, cheap food. How many of you guys believed in, if you don't have money, you only have money to buy cheap food? That is the biggest lie we tell ourselves. It's the biggest lie we tell ourselves, because, and I don't know if Darren talked about it here, but I've heard him talk about this, and he said this so beautifully. We learn how to become mechanically full, not nutritionally full. And when you become mechanically full, so when I go back to my days of, you know, McDonald's, so you go to the dollar menu, but the dollar menu turned into $30 menu. Because it took me a lot more food to feel satisfied, or I could eat a lot more of it, or I'd eat it, but I need more of it. And yes, I was an emotional eater, but I just didn't understand how much nutrition played a role in a lot of what I suffered from. I just didn't know. I had all this amazing information out there, but how do I apply that to me? Because clearly nobody understands what I'm going through. You should just, I love this, you should just work out and eat less. Right? There's some truth to that. Just go do that. Just go do that. Like, what do you mean you're not losing weight? What are you eating? Do you know a lot of plus-size women tend to eat one meal a day? Let that blow your mind. We're not sitting around eating bonbons. Now, I'm not telling you to emotionally eat, and that might be happening, but that's not a size-exclusive thing. Most of us are so nutritionally depleted. We are. But it's easy to make the assumption otherwise. So I say all this to you because through this craziness, our life blossomed, and not overnight. It was a mess. It looked way more like a bowl of spaghetti, ups and downs and rounds and you name it, than any line of spaghetti. And I remember I was so desperate, I was so ready to quit, and I did quit several times. I love quitting. Like, I just want to see what happened if I didn't. But I began to understand what all that experience meant for me. That was some really important data. That told me a lot about me. And I realized that the journey happened, quite interestingly enough, November 13th, 1973. Yes, I'm 43 years old, believe it. Here in Baldwin, Missouri. I was born in St. Louis, Missouri. Yeah. It was really cool to be home because we went and saw my first house, and that was wild. So I say all that to you because my first day didn't start the day I started this journey. It started the day I was born. People go, how long have you been on this journey? I said, since 1973. No, really. I'm like, no, really, since 1973. I learned a lot of interesting behaviors, right? Growing up. Like, we wake up, like, we're born. Have you guys read the book Relentless? Okay, I'm still working on figuring out what my first tattoo is going to be. And I've been thinking about it since I was 18 years old. I think I figured it out. That's a long time. It's going to be the word relentless. I am relentless. And if you're sitting in this room, you probably are too. I didn't lack hope. I just didn't know how to do it for me. I didn't know how to come out of the struggles. I didn't know that there was power in the struggle. I didn't know any of this, you guys. I had no idea. But what I had was hope. I had hope. And if you're sitting in this room, you have hope. So let me explain something about this journey. So when I started doing this, you guys, I know, do you guys struggle telling your story online? You worry about judgments? How many of you guys are worried about judgment? How many people, somebody has said something negative to you, or had something, or wrote something good? Now you know exactly who you're not talking to. They just made it easier for you. As a matter of fact, in this room right now, some of you guys are sitting there with your arms crossed looking and going, what does this big girl have to say about health and fitness? A lot. A lot. But if you don't get my message, I bless you and let you go, because my message wasn't meant for you. That's how I do my social media. That's how I get on stage. That's how I can tell my story with confidence. And I didn't gain this confidence until I was 40 years old. Some people say, oh, it happens when you're 40. And I said, listen, if you can bottle all of a sudden the confidence I had, do not diminish and think it's because I hit my 4th decade to gain confidence, because I was broken. I was on the ground. I was crawling, army crawling, laying flat on my back, whatever it took to try to get that next step. Do not think it happened within a decade. Because I have plenty of 50, 60, 70-year-olds that I work with that learn to make that transition. Age, I am not defined by a number. Not by my age, not by the size of my pants, not by the scale, not by anything, not by my Success Club points, nothing. Thank you. I worked hard. I didn't have a system. I didn't have know-how. I didn't know I was going to do it. But what I began to do when I started Insanity, and if you guys haven't listened to the Shanti podcast, please do. It's Trust and Believe. Listen to the podcast that Sean and I did. I started with insanity. Listen, I love this whole idea of U+2 or UB2. It's a great place to start people out. I teach my girls how to do badass workouts. That's what I teach them to do. I'll start them out there too, but I'll tell you what. Excuse me, did I say that in Missouri? You guys okay with that? Okay, so watch my lies. It gets a lot worse than that, but I will keep it clean. I teach my ladies how to walk into a gym if they want to and own it. How to go and work out with somebody if they need to take a modification, how to do it. I used to spoon feed the modifications to them. Okay, for this, you're gonna do this. And they're like, okay, so what about for this move with my ex? What's my modifier? It's this, I don't know, whatever it was, right? And I go, no, you're doing a disservice. Teach them to learn about their body and to respect and honor the challenges they have and then go past it. So I taught my ladies to find that inner B, B, whatever, BA, whatever it is. Can I say badass? Find that inner badass and bring her out. Because she was in there all along. Just society told us differently. Get them moving and get them to enjoy the process in business, in fitness, in relationships. We're waiting for the romantic ending of the movie. We think our life begins at that final number. No. It happens the whole way, that journey, even when you go backwards. Even when you gain 43 pounds. You gain 43 pounds back after a knee injury. I grew tremendously as a person. And I never spiraled out of control. And I never went back to my original weight and beyond. See, because once you're obese, your body remembers. So when somebody loses the weight, they start getting it back and start feeling shameful. It's part of the process sometimes. Regardless of your size, it happens. But when I started on insanity, and I couldn't walk up the 12 steps to my house without feeling like I was going to pass out, without feeling like my world would go great, literally 12 steps, okay? And a little landing in the front. We found this apartment, it had mice, it was a mess. But whatever, we were out of the hotel. Here's my husband, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it's the second floor. He really can't walk, he's really struggling. But it was the apartment that accepted us. They didn't look at our credit score, they didn't judge me by my number. They didn't look at our finances, they liked us. And it was the first time in a long time I'm like, oh, somebody likes us and think we're a big bunch of losers. Lots of opinions about us. So I'm trying to walk up these steps and I can't. And I get to the top, I feel like I'm gonna pass out. And every ounce of oxygen is out of my lungs. And I'm ashamed to tell my husband, I'm really struggling walking up these steps when I'm watching my husband pretty much crawl up them. But hey, we got an apartment. So I went looking for a version of myself online. Popped in my struggles, trying to get up and down off the floor. I couldn't get off the couch without help. Physically could not get off the couch without help. My tummy was 2 feet larger around than it is right now. So mechanically, think about this for a moment. When you're sitting on the couch, knees apart, because your belly's got to go somewhere, and you're now trying to get up, and you cannot get the center of gravity to get off the couch. I wanted to quit because I couldn't get off the floor then. And when I tried to do crunches, my whole body's still on the ground, but my internal skeletal structure, I was able to get to lift an inch. That was progress. I was able to contract my abs. I was able to engage my core. People will tell you, well, you have to make sure that your shoulders are off. Listen, my skeletal structure is off the floor, just the rest of me is still on there, but I'm making progress, okay? But those are things that make us quit. I have really raw, open conversations, and maybe some of the things I'm saying makes you uncomfortable. That's okay. But I want you to know what this journey is really about. And here's what happened. I went online to go look for a version of myself, and she did not exist. I'm not saying there weren't other plus-size women out there sharing, or whatever your version, or whatever your thing is. But when you're plus size, you go, oh, plus size, it's such a negative. What are you talking about? Plus is positive. Why gotta be negative? When you go looking on, you're going and looking up a definition of you. Right? It's how I find my clothing. That's how I find all the things I'm looking for. Thank God for the word plus size, because now I have a voice. Okay? I'm no longer in the shadows. And you see it happening everywhere. She wasn't there. What I found was people who were willing to go, look at me before. Oh, I hated myself and I was terrible. Look at me after. Life is wonderful. Look and I'm in my size 2s, and nothing against anybody who's gone that far. Please understand, I'm in no way insulting any journey, because whatever your journey is to be respected, your body's to be respected. So when I have the big girls say, I can't relate to the skinny girls and blah, 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 I never hear the skinny women say that to me. I teach them, you want to learn to respect you and your body? You learn to respect all bodies. That woman's been on a journey too. Do not diminish her journey like you don't want your journey diminished. Don't judge the body. Don't judge the book by the cover. Because that coach who's traditionally fit has so much to offer to you. And if they don't, they need to know who they need to be talking to. You just are open about it. They're not a challenge path, they're not SC points. But I went looking, she wasn't there. And I was gonna quit. And I decided with no support system, certainly no more market, because nobody wants to hang out with the broken homeless family because we might need something, I don't know, like a meal or a place to stay or unsolicited advice. We love the unsolicited advice, that helps so much. But you know what I did? I learned to forgive, because just like I didn't have a manual on how to handle going broken homeless or gaining 150 pounds, my friends, family, and those around me didn't have a manual because they hadn't been there. They hadn't gone through it. And I began to realize this human nature of this path. So here's the before. Here's the after. Ding! Like the Mentos, whatever, like their teeth sparkle and stuff. And so I'm like, no, I am not focused on weight loss, I'm focused on health gains. I want to get healthy. I've got a real problem right now, cardiovascularly, and I want to get healthy. And I was not put on this earth to be a mistake. I'm not. My size does not diminish my worth, and if the scale was supposed to define my worth, then I was worth my most at my heaviest. I'm so confused by all this. Why can't I just love who I am? How am I going to hate on this person in this situation and expect the world to make these changes for me, and I wasn't going to respect and love the vessel and the message and the purpose that was coming from all this? There was so much to learn. Oh, I'm back. Hold on, I'm back. There was so much to learn, but what happened in that, you guys, the very first video I ever posted on YouTube was a video of me doing insanity. Okay, so this is no joke. So when they're jumping, I'm swaying. I'm moving, I'm swaying. They got on the floor, I did a knee raise, maybe an inch. Because my tummy was about down here, so if I raised it an inch, all this pushed up and would push up against my neck. But I was moving. And I got through 3 minutes and I celebrated that. And then I got through 4 minutes and I celebrated that. I was making progress and celebrating progress, not results. So on roughly, I don't think it was day 70, I got airborne, second floor of a very old building, and learned to land softly. That was the beauty about all this, is that all of this actually taught me body mechanics about myself, right? To really have a better understanding, like doing the crunch on the ground, and maybe that was just engaging my core, but usually standing upright. It taught me so much about what I was really able to do. And that would all add up, right? So the very first video I posted was my video where I was gonna quit. My husband left the house, I flipped the camera around, didn't worry about angles, I still don't. Didn't worry about angles, I just popped it up, and so it wasn't the swing, because I knew where I started, but at this point I was able to do some more stuff. So like globe jumps, you know? And then I did it, and then I have a busted foot, so I'm wearing really cool shoes. So then, and then I did it, and then I was actually hopping into the globe jumps. Not high, not like Sean, but I'm not Sean, Sean's not me. And I looked at the progress, and so I looked at what I used to do maybe a few weeks before, and what I was able to do today, and I didn't quit because of video. And I posted it, and I shared on my Facebook page my journey to no audience, to no one. There wasn't anybody there. I didn't have any following. I also was told what I do is bad for plus size women. Interesting. Yeah, I'm glad I listened to them. So, I'm saying all this to you because I learned the power of sharing my authentic journey online without worrying about anybody's opinions. I began to have freedom Because I grew up my entire life wondering what everybody had to say. If somebody had something bad to say about me, trying to control that conversation, maybe I'm a really good person. And now I'm just like, oh, you don't like me? That's okay. You can go, because I'm still here. Not everybody's going to love me. Not everybody's going to understand me, and that is okay. I began to get this personal freedom from sharing my journey through social media. I went from broke and homeless to a 6-figure income in Beach Body. I've had utilities shut off during that time. I've gained weight during that time. I've had bouts of depression during that time. Went through all the different things, 'cause it's comfortable for me to go back. Like, my symptoms and my illnesses were such a great way to lower the expectations of myself and everyone else around me. I didn't turn a corner and everything changed. It was like, I liken it to, I love saying this, it's like a boulder in the middle of a desert with a 2-lane highway, and just one boulder. So you look at that picture, you guys picture that in your head? You look at that boulder, well, that's your thing that's gonna happen, right? Because I don't know if anybody told you this, on your journey in your business and your fitness, the world's gonna stand still and nothing's gonna go wrong. You won't get sick, there won't be deaths in the family, you won't lose your job, like all that all stops. Nobody did tell you about this? For those 60 to 90 days, it's gonna go so perfectly that every day you will get your workout done the way you're supposed to, you're gonna eat perfectly. There's like this magic pause on life that happens. No? Okay, well, there you go, you guys. That's the reality of this journey. That's the reality of this journey. And in fitness and in business, when I learned to embrace it, so I was looking for. When I learned to embrace that this was part of the journey and became more transparent about it, my business began to grow. I didn't post to see what would get the most likes. I didn't post to increase my following. I use social media for the most powerful personal accountability. I now have 100,000 followers, or just shy of 100,000 followers on my Facebook page. I'm a verified YouTuber. I showed up on a Google Analytics report because when people watch my videos on YouTube, they watch video after video after video, and YouTube says, what are you doing? And we want to connect with you. All from sharing my journey. Every single person in this room has purpose in what you've been through. I've had somebody tell me, the reason why you're successful in this business is because you're plus size. And I'm like, somebody needs to tell the health and fitness industry this, because every time I looked at a video before, it was like, you don't want to look like that. You want to look like this. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, no. I'm successful in this business because I attract the right people to me by being free, authentic, sharing my journey, not because I'm trying to get a Success Club point. It's not because of that. This business builds when you share your heart. You know what? I'm gonna work on me. Do you know why I began to have success in this business? Because the more I started helping other people and cheering them on, the more energy I was getting back. Being an active coach helping other people while on your journey is so powerful. That exchange of energy to inspire somebody whether they look like you or not. The first coach I ever signed up was literally 1/4 my size. Literally and in shape. And I thought, that's fascinating. I love that. I mean, open up the universe kept showing me all these examples of what's possible, but I was so focused before on all the things that weren't going the way that I planned. I began to stay fascinated and curious. What was going to happen next? When the bad things began to happen, I wonder why. What am I going to learn from this? What's going to come from this? I started to change my attitude. And where my attitude started to change, you guys, was in our vital behaviors. I did the vital behaviors. And even in the very beginning of my journey, when I became a coach, I was still well over 300 pounds, probably 320 at that point. I had done some programs, lost some weight, let life be the excuse, gained most of it back. And so I was starting again, so to speak. And when I started practicing the vital behaviors, things started to happen. When I started helping, inspiring other people, one person, two people, I didn't get to 100 SC in the first month I was in this business. It took time. But when I helped one person, and I could help them believe in themselves for 10 seconds, that was 10 seconds more than they believed in themselves before. If you did all this, I don't care what your illnesses are, I don't care what your symptoms are, if you did these vital behaviors that Beachbody shares with us, you had to work really, really hard at it. Like, you really had to work hard at it. Like, getting out of bed is difficult for you. Maybe your legs don't work, whatever it is. Maybe you have severe depression. If you did all this work, and it took you a lot of effort to do these vital behaviors compared to your neighbor, and your life was 10% better, is it worth it? I can't hear you.
Yes.
It's worth it. And in the beginning of your journey, it takes a lot of effort. And I began to embrace that. I began to understand this is a process. Beachbody taught me to take really good care of myself and help other people on the journey. I am helping end the trend as I fight to get out of the trend. And by being real and honest about my journey, and about as authentic as you can and transparent. I mean, I'm in a bikini, you know? You know what I love about my girls that they say now? They look at my picture, they'll show my progress pictures, and they'll go, where did you get your bikini? I love that. I love that. I love that. Because through me, they're feeling empowered that maybe they can too. And I hope they do, and they send me a picture. And if somebody has something negative to say about a big girl in a bikini, it wasn't for you. Like, take the time to put that energy into your life. That's what I tell them. So nobody's gonna look at you funny or have something negative to say about you. If you're feeling great that day because you lost a pound, or you all of a sudden started loving on yourself, or you looked in the mirror and said, I'm beautiful, and believed it for the first time, do what you wanna do. Live your life, be free. If somebody thinks that you shouldn't, good, now you know who not to talk to. It's exactly how I handle my social media. It's exactly how I handle my social circles. It's exactly how I handle my business. I'm not here to debate, talk into, convert, nor am I here to drag bodies. If you can learn to be thankful for the only thing you can be thankful for that day is the breath that you took, then that's all you have to be thankful for that day, because somebody's taking their last. So you look and go, my life is tough, it's difficult, it's hard, you like that. You like that. When you can start looking and go, this all has to happen for me to be successful, then you begin to make change. And you can help other people on that journey along with you while you're in the process, or if you're an after. A lot of people are like, I didn't share my journey before, I didn't feel confident enough to do it until I'm after. More power to you. There's no judgment. When you're ready to start sharing, and when you're ready to start taking other people with you, you get to make a difference in the world, because that person is now going to have a light shine from them that they can't fake and they can't dull. And that light is usually, they'll get a comment like, wow, something's different. You have more energy. Like, you just tell, this light comes from inside of you when you start moving your body, you start putting the dense nutrition in it. You may not realize it, but other people do, because you can't dull the sparkle unless you want to. And for a long, long time, I wanted to. But what Beachbody told me, or taught me, was the vital behaviors, and through the vital behaviors, I learned this, that I needed to be 100% selfish so I could be 1,000% selfless. That my kids were no longer the excuse, they were the reason. That my weight wasn't an excuse, it was the reason. Like, whatever it was, my health wasn't the excuse, the symptoms were the excuse, they were the reason. Like I said in that video, there's so many things. I will have people come to me and they'll say, oh, I can't do this because I still have a lot of weight to lose, and I look at them and I go, who are you talking to? Like, I'm like, this is why you'll be successful. People are desperate to know they are not alone. Do you know those people who lose a tremendous amount of weight and still don't have the confidence inside? What if you've lost a tremendous amount of weight and you are I don't want to call it the actor because I feel like we're all in progress, but you guys understand what I'm saying, right? The end result, this big goal that you work towards. And you go and you connect to somebody else who's maybe done something similar to you. But they haven't learned to like embrace themselves. You guys know people like that? They've had a tremendous journey, but they haven't learned to like feel comfortable in the skin that they're in. You can help them make that transition, even while you're making that transition, or maybe you haven't figured out. Like whatever it is for you in your journey right now as you stand today is what you need to share. Is what you need to share in confidence. I grew up in a family where we didn't talk about our problems, that we didn't share a lot about ourselves, and now my family's like, maybe you shouldn't share that stuff. I'm like, really? Post. And now they get it. My mom still to this day goes, she goes, Tulin, in her accent's not what my mom sounds like at all, but in my head when I do my mom, she sounds like, Tulin, someday you will be skinny again and happy. And I'm like, Mom, my greatest opportunities came from me loving myself and the skin that I was in, regardless of how much weight I had on me. I got through tough things, and I wear it on my body. This is my story. This is my journey. These are my battle scars. This is my 2 kids that I was told I couldn't have. Overcoming broken homeless. Going through my kids' piggy banks, and the silvers are all gone, and now all that are left are the pennies. That's in this body. That's the story it tells. Survivor. Somebody who didn't want to give up. Somebody who decided to see what it would feel like to never quit again. So maybe I look a little funny doing my squats. Maybe gaining 43 pounds now, I'm on the way down, 13 now, which I'm excited about. Maybe the way that I do them, people go, oh, that's not proper form. Well, let me ask you something. If you've never had to make space for your tummy and do squats, shh. Like, yes, my knees are apart for a reason because I can get deeper in my squats, and I'll talk about that. I'll talk about that with the people I'm talking to. That's who I want to help. Hey, Tulin, what happens if you're no longer plus size? Well, I'm sure I'll still be helping people. There's somebody who's still going to need help. This doesn't dry up because you are so uniquely you guys. I hope that you're understanding that. I took my unique journey, my struggles, the steps I was taking overcoming. I have no shame that if I thought this was the good path for me, and then I go through that path and I go, you know what, that wasn't the best decision for me. I'm now choosing to go this path. People don't go, well, what happened with such and such? It's kind of along the lines of like, if you're at a party and people know you're working out and eating better, and you go to reach for the cheesecake, and you got that one person that goes, oh, what happened to your diet? Like moments like that, right? I just share. Somebody needed to hear that. Did you guys ever post and somebody said, I needed to read that today? Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Was it your after photo? Or was it your journey? Now, your before and after photos are going to get a lot of attention. You're going to get a lot of likes, a lot of people reach out, help me, etc., etc. There's no doubt. But think about that post you made that was something very, very basic. Maybe your baby just threw up all over you. I don't know, whatever it is. That really authentic in the day of maybe you're taking a really cool workout video of you working out, right? And you just want to put in the good clips. So you just want to put in all the good clips, but in between all the good clips, you're like doing, I just don't even know how I can do anymore. All right, I can do more. That's the part you should be showing. That's the part you should be showing. Show the struggle, show the sweat, show how you get back up. I don't care what size you are, I don't care how fit you are, I don't care how hard you are. Share it like it's your personal scrapbook. If you were having a rough day and you went back through your social media, would you be inspired? Could you look at your social media and be inspired by what we shared? Does it show you your journey? Does it show you your path? Does it show you a survivor, a fighter, deciding not to quit that day? Does your social media show that for you? Raise a hand, anyone. It does. that's what people are going to respond to. They're going to respond to what they see. When they see an aspect of them in you, and you, even if it's just you just doing this, and that's all you did that day. Some of my best posts are when I'm flat on my back on my journey, but I never leave people with a negative. I never leave them with a negative. Ever. Because I have something to celebrate, and I have a way to overcome. I got a brain that works. It's going to help me kind of figure out maybe what my next step is. Might not be the right step, but maybe if I took the wrong step, what an important bit of data I've learned from that to help me better on this journey. Right? Maybe I changed my mind. That's another part of my journey. That's what health and fitness is about. That's what personal development is about. That's what this business is about. It's not about the perfect picture, the perfect angle, the perfect segments, the perfect workout, the best jump squat. Those are cool pictures too. But people want to see what's possible. And they see what's possible uniquely in all of us in this room. In all of us. Success in this business is not in your rank. It's not in the amount of weight you've lost, whether it's people or negativity or the scale. It's the process. It's showing people that they can overcome because you haven't figured it out, because you're figuring out how to do it too, and you're willing to share it with others. Tomorrow, I'm very fortunate. I'll be speaking in Montreal. And my coach, Jimmy Hayes Nelson, is going to be there speaking as well. And this will be the first time that we're sharing the stage, and that means a lot to me. Because what if Jimmy judged me? What if he judged me by my size, by our financial situation? What if what people thought you had to be successful in health and fitness, and he ran that list against what he saw, maybe what he knew? What if he said, oh, she's not going to be able to afford a challenge pack? She's definitely not ready to coach. So I'm not going to tell her about all these things. I wouldn't be where I am today. He can take zero credit and zero blame, but what he showed me was, he told me about the 30-day money-back guarantee. He told me about the coaching. He told me about the discount. He told me about everything, and he gave me an opportunity to say yes or no, yes or no. And I said yes to all of it with every intention of returning it in 30 days. That was it. I came in as a coach. I fought Jimmy all the way. I told Jimmy, don't talk to me about your business group, about your business, and don't talk to me about your weight loss groups. As a matter of fact, I told him, either we'll get along famously or we'll clash terribly. I interviewed him. I was in a really negative space, but there was something in Jimmy, in what he shared. I thought, well, one, he's a stranger enough to me, so if I return the bag of Shakeology, I'm not going to feel so bad. I'll still sleep well that night, and I'll get my money back when I drank this crazy bag of powder for 30 days. But I said, there was something about Jimmy that I could tell that he was still hungry to make change in his life, and that through his eyes, I saw maybe there's something to this business. And he was very transparent. I knew that he had some lumps, and then I found out that he'd also lost 100 pounds, which probably explains why he never put a post on any of my social media pages that said, hey, if you're looking for motivation and accountability, come be a part of my Facebook group. Like I didn't read that 40,000 times that I posted my workout. He didn't see that. He just had something nice to say. He had something nice to say. I always say in this business, we're always trying to shrink our butt. I feel like in our posts, like when we're trying to motivate other people, that we have to shrink our butt and add more periods. Hey, that looks not a copy paste. That's amazing. I love your progress. Way to go. Period. Done. Stop. Don't tell me about your plus size. Don't tell me about your motivation and accountability group. If I'm interested in that because you're being kind to me, because you're leading from your heart in this business. You understand this business only grows if you lead from here. You got to use this, but this business grows from when you lead from here. You cannot sell in this business and expect your business to grow. You help a transaction take place and help give them a gift of a challenge pack in their hands. That's what Jimmy did for us. He gave us the gift of the challenge pack. And it was up to me to open it up and put it to work. He can't do the workouts for me. He can't build the business for me. He can't do these things for me, but he gave me a gift. And he wasn't selfish in picking and choosing what aspects of it he was going to tell me. And over time, so yeah, I was a discount coach. And then I was like, hey, maybe there's something to this, coach. And then there was like, but it's a lot more comfortable being angry and mad coach. Okay. Then it's like, hey, if something else is, then it's like badass coach. I'm like, I'm going for it. And I did. I did. My best years in Beachbody were during the time that I had gained weight back. Because what I showed people was what the journey can look like. And I took the shame away from it. And I took the things away. I took personal responsibility. Because now I knew what was possible. Like when I watch people on stage, or I'm at Summit and I see the 15-star diamonds or whoever it is, I can now see what's possible. In this business, I show myself what's possible. In my fitness, I showed myself what's possible. If I got there before, I can get there and beyond. Because I knew what it took me to get there. I knew what worked really well for me. I knew where I didn't take personal responsibility. I knew what changes I could make, but nobody could deny the growth and the challenges I overcame during that time. Also during this time, last May, my husband nearly passed away. Do you know what that story did? For one of the coaches on my team, whose husband passed away a couple weeks ago. She came back into the group. What if I didn't tell that story? You know what I also learned about that? My husband and I were really strong during that time, and we didn't take the time just to kind of digest it. And so we stayed so strong, and then we went for elite. In 6 months, I pretty much rebuilt my team, went for elite, and as we came out of it, I went, we didn't give ourselves time to digest, just to take a minute. And then we did. But that came from awareness. My missteps, my setbacks are setups for comebacks. You know that saying? Every time you have a setback, it's your setup for a comeback unless you choose for it not to be. And sometimes it's really comfortable to choose for it not to be. This business grows when you follow and you take better care of yourself every day, a little better, a little better. Maybe sometimes a little better is that when you look, maybe it wasn't better than it was last week or 2 weeks ago, but when you look at that little better and you compare it to maybe your day one or before you start on this journey, you go, I never would have handled that situation that way. Celebrate that. Same thing in the business. Oh my gosh, it's end of month, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm gonna pop in the business for a real second. How many of you guys consistently hit Success Club on a monthly basis? Monthly. Okay. All right, I'll talk to you then. It is 3 people that need help. How many of you guys think this market is saturated? Everybody thinks that? Okay, good. Because I love saturated. When people say, oh, it's saturated, I'm like, no, it's called demand, and it's hardly saturated. When I started to look at this business and I said, okay, I just have to help 3 people. Have you helped 3 people before?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You just haven't done it consistently month after month. Oh, yeah, I didn't either. As a matter of fact, the first time I hit Success Club, Jimmy's like, go do a video about it. I'm like, okay, but I'm not committing to Success Club. And then I made sure it was in the video so that he knew that I wasn't committing to Success Club on a monthly basis. Just wasn't going to do that. Yeah. Is that how much time I have left? Oh, crappers. Okay. So listen, you guys. When I began to realize that what I was doing in Success Club is that I would get to Success Club and then I would stop my business. Because I'd be afraid there wouldn't be anybody else. There's always someone else that needs help. And I'd stop my momentum. Same thing in my fitness. If I got to a certain part and got successful, success was uncomfortable, and as I go back to being unsuccessful and doing something that was more comfortable that way, and I would stop my momentum. Business, fitness, whatever. When I started to realize that if I just keep talking to people, and I just keep sharing my journey, and I just keep doing this, the bare minimum I can do is hit SC5, but I'm going to hit you with something right now, and I mean this in the bottom of my heart. If you're only hitting SC5 on a monthly basis, you are stopping. Anybody challenge me on that? Nobody's gonna challenge me on that? How many of you guys go, I hit SC5, done, and you do nothing else about your business for the rest of the month? Anybody else willing to admit that? Yeah, I did that too. I did that too. That's the momentum killer, is that we stop talking to people and we stop sharing. And we're afraid to talk to anybody else. So, and I mean this from the most loving place in the heart. That's because we're looking at people, maybe not. I'm just gonna say it this way, but please understand I mean from a soft place. That we're looking at people and I got my 2 SC points. I'd like for you to change your mindset and say, I received 2 SC points for helping someone today. You receive them, you don't go and get them. Even in my deepest, darkest, hardest, brokest days, I received Success Cup points. Even when I would have the check, I didn't do direct deposit because my account usually is overdrawn like 3 weeks out of the month. So I'd have the check sent to me and I would go cash it. Do you know how excited I was? I was actually able to go buy groceries for my kids. I would celebrate that. Even in those deep, dark times, I still received SC points. Health and fitness is a journey. It's not a look. It's not an outcome. Everybody has a story to share. And this business is built on sharing. It's built on helping other people on their journey while you're on yours. And it's about doing that day in and day out, being proud of what you do, and not caring about the negative things other people have to say. Because they're not paying your bills, and they're probably not going to be at your funeral. And we take care of so many other people instead of ourselves. I find that a lot of Beachbody coaches are very service-hearted. We take care of others before ourselves. Try taking care of yourself first and watch what it does for helping other people. If helping other people and the other things in your church or your kids or your husband, try taking incredible care of yourself and watch how much more you can do in those other areas in your life that matter. Because if they really, really matter, then you'll make sure that you continue to take better and better care of yourself, mentally through personal development, nutritionally through Shakeology, movement. What if you volunteer in the kids club at your church and you're really having a hard time like keeping up with them, but all of a sudden you started taking advantage or taking care of your fitness and your nutrition. That's all you did. You started moving your body, drinking Shakeology, and now when you're playing with the kids, you're able to interact with them more, or your own kids. Is it worth it? It's worth it. That's what Beachbody teaches us to do. And we get to teach other people to do that. When you start doing that, you will begin to receive SC points. When you begin to receive SC points and don't start talking to people, you'll never hit SC5 again. You'll just keep hitting more because you'll be able to realize how many people really need your help. So you stop making it about Success Club, you start making it about people. Since I was broken homeless, since I was over 300 pounds on this journey, I've always come from that stance. Beachbody helped me heal. I now have amazing women around me. I was one of those people who said I can't have women as friends. That's not true. I have a fit fan. I have the most amazing, they're all positive. They're working to get better on a daily basis. Why are they around me? Because I was willing to share my journey. I was willing to help them too. Now, I only have 1 minute and 50 seconds, and I wasn't supposed to go that long, or wasn't going to go that long. But I have a question for you. Anybody have any questions for me? Anybody want to know how I do what it is that I do? Because I will tell you my answers. But if you don't, that's okay too.
Tell us.
What?
Tell us.
What? You tell me what? What do you want to know? Because I can